Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Almost forgot to click the buttons there. Almost forgot to click the buttons. How are y'all this morning? Whew. Yeah, so hope everyone's doing good. We're going to have a chill stream today. We're just going to talk. I think we're just going to talk, which is good. It's nighttime for you. I could go with like skipping through today and tonight. That'd be okay. So let's all go night night. Afternoon in the UK. I'm glad the Pen Addict is worldwide. I'm very, very glad about that. Good morning, just working away. Sam, that's a little bit what I'm going to do this morning. Just working away. I'm behind from yesterday. I'm going to pop this afternoon here in Ireland. I could use some Ireland time right now. Thank you, Cal. I appreciate that. We'll talk about that a little bit, or maybe a lot of it, about, like what we're doing today, and, just have a nice chill stream. I'm going to put this up here. So since I'm going to be doing a lot of work, we can talk about some things that I'm doing today. A lot of writing. Attended a meeting that turned out to be a recorded message. That's so wrong. That's like, I hate that sometimes, like about, big corporations. I've been in it too, like where it's just a disrespect thing to me. Tessa, drinking your morning coffee? Me too. I got crap coffee today, though. Not good coffee. Watching the littles. My wife's off today, so she's watching my little bigs, which is good. So that's why we're just going to chill here. No time limit today. No time stream. End stream time. No official end stream time today. We can chill. We can talk. No plans, no unboxings, no topics. Just want to make sure everyone's healthy, happy, doing the things, that are helpful, and trying to get through these times and make sure we're all doing well. So I will be hitting the coffee frequently this morning. My not good coffee. Sometimes we have gaps in the good coffee when things aren't in stock these days. What are you using as a second camera? The exact same camera I use for the main camera. It's just on an arm and face down. It's with the Logitech, HD something or other. It's funny, I have so much light. I have light in my face. The black camera, like I can touch it right here, but I can't read the text on there because of the lighting. But it's the popular Logitech HD camera from like a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago. 1080i, something like. Here, we'll look at this one. This will be funny. I can probably see this one better. It's the Logi HD 1080p. See? Woo! Inception. So there you go. Glad I'm wearing pants today, chat. All right. So we're just going to chill. Oh, happy birthday, Niazi Master. Whoa. Holy crap. Niazi Master, thank you. That is amazing. So let me read this again. I didn't catch it. Like right when you dropped that on us. Said, it's my birthday week and I've been donating to people I follow, so prepare. Like I didn't even get to read that. 30 tier 1 subs. Oh my god. Niazi Master, I don't know what to say. Oh my god. I wasn't planning on crying today. You're gonna ruin that, Niazi Master. I've cried so much over the past few days. I thought I was all cried out. But thank you. I am at a loss for words. Happy birthday, Niazi Master. Neo Wiz Master. I keep calling you Niazi Master because that's what it looks like, but it's Neo Wiz Master. Thanks, Neo. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. I'm gonna turn off the cheerleader so I don't drive everybody crazy. But yeah, I've cried a lot over the past few days. Y'all know I'm a crier. I just get emotional about stuff, and when people do nice things, it makes me happy. And these are happy tears, and I don't know. It's an emotional time, so like I'm on edge as it is. So Neo, thank you so much. That's pretty awesome. I hope you have an amazing birthday. This was thank you. Really, really appreciate that. That will not be forgotten. That's pretty amazing. Whew. Thought we got hacked. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So, yeah, y'all be sure to shout out Neo. Evan, thanks for the sub. Twitch Prime in 16 months. That's crazy how long we've been doing this now. And like it's only gonna get bigger and better from here. Like there's an office space that opened up by my house. I'm like tempted to like check in on their internet connection so I can have like a remote location that's not taking advantage of my in-laws house and like really get into it. But I don't know, that would be probably kind of dumb during these times, like taking on more expense. It's a great idea. I just don't know if I want the expense. So we'll see. Like where I live, like everything's so cheap. Yeah, everything's really cheap around where I live. But it's also in the area, like I know what our internet situation is, and it's in a location where I wouldn't be surprised if they had the same internet that I have. You're seeing that Kaweco co-branding binder and says, yeah, bigger and better to me. Yeah, we're gonna look at that. It's not there for things. So yeah, I might look into that because it would actually be like when the kids are in school. It's like between my house and school. So I've actually looked at this space before, and the last time I looked at it, it was under construction, and it was very reasonably priced. It was like, yeah, I don't even remember. It was like in the $600 a month range. And I thought that was like crazy cheap, but I was just like, I don't know if I can do the thing. Yeah, but we'll see. It's useless if it doesn't have fast internet to where I could do videos. But I'm at least tempted. The sign went back up. I kind of regretted not getting it in the beginning because it's enough to fit like the whole shipping department too. Yeah, like the Kickstarter video, but more regularly. Absolutely, we do it a lot more. All right, let me look at this, Tessa. Oh, those are cool. Yeah, those are the mug. I love those. So those are the mugs where you got to look at the detail. Like from afar, it looks like, oh, look at these sweet, like, oh, look at these pretty classic mugs. Then you get a little bit close up and like the world's burning. That's pretty cool. Calamity Wear. Wonderful name. Yeah, I bought Joey Feldman's Plague Doctor mug. Mine is shipped. So yeah, I actually might drive by that facility on the way home and grab the number again and just see what's up. So it'd be super convenient. It's like 5 minutes from my house, and it's basically next to the post office I use. So that's pretty good. Hey, good morning, George. So, let's talk a little bit about why I'm streaming today. I posted on Twitter this morning when I got up and was just getting coffee and getting coherent. I said on Twitter, I'm totally streaming today. Like I was just talking on Twitter and I said, I'm totally streaming today. And then like 30 minutes later, I saw the whole blackout stuff going on. And like, I didn't know that was a thing when I said that. Like I was, like what I said actually doesn't look very good, like in relation, but like, that's one of those things where you just don't know all the things that are going on all the time. So, I totally respect the blackout day that's happening today, but I felt, and I think a lot of people feel is number one, you have to use it accordingly, right? Like, why are you choosing to black out? What are you doing to amplify other voices if you're choosing a blackout? And to me, like right now, like I feel like conversation is important. And you look at where I'm seeing a bunch of tweets where like things on Instagram are getting screwed up because people are not using the hashtag correctly, and real information is getting lost in the shuffle. So, I'm just thinking about that and thinking about why I wanted to stream today. And I just think it's valuable to talk about these things that are going on in the world. And like, I'm okay with that. So, yeah, so I did make a tweet that doesn't look great, but I'm not taking it down because it was like totally innocent. But I do think it applies more to like the big businesses, and let's rein in the marketing for a while. Let's read the room a little bit. I do think it's a little bit more around there. So, I just wanted to throw that out there because I felt a little weird with that tweet after I finished reading Twitter this morning. So yeah, like I'm totally good with businesses deciding to pause content for today or the week or for whatever, but it's really important to institute action more than pause content. Pausing content is helpful because it allows important things to get through, right? But when you're unpaused, you have to stand for something, I believe, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot of it out there. I think we're going to see some changes more so now than ever. I hope so, and I'm going to try to do my part in that. So yeah, very cool. You can move your Knox shipping stuff into that, and you can spread out the cost between all your various business ventures. Absolutely. Yeah, it would totally be a business cost. I have a separate office at home now anyway, so it's completely separate. I have separate insurance on it. That's business insurance, but I could relocate it completely. That space is big enough. It's like 700 square feet, 600 square feet, and I'm in 450 square feet right now, and that's way too much space as it is. So. The city of Vallejo has been in turmoil for the last 3 days. I live less than a half mile from the police station. That's tough. Hey, good morning, even supposing. Tony was disappointed that there was no solidarity tweet from Instagram and not from Knock. I know. I actually have not. I've been really awful at posting on Knock. Like I don't want to. I think I'll know me well enough by now. I don't want to. I'm never going to overly business something, right? So. With Knock, like why you don't get weekly newsletters from us is because I don't have anything new to share. I'm not just going to say, hey, look at this today. So, but the Instagram feed is different because I can show different products and use and things like that and retweet and do some other things. So I got to do better at that with that. And I'm talking to our manufacturer. Hey, good morning, Michael. Talking to our manufacturer over the past couple weeks. I'm like, when are we going to be able to get some new stuff? And they're not committing to anything right now. And I'm actually waiting on a phone call back from last week. It's supposed to get me a black and white answer, like a specific date or, a specific account balance level. Like what is the number or what is the day where we can have stuff again? So, because I think they actually have stuff ready to ship us. And it's new stuff too, like lookouts and pencil case, lookouts, fodder stacks are all just sitting there ordered, and I don't know. That's a whole thing. So good times. So really today I'm open to talking about whatever you want. I got to get a little bit of work done. I'm going to I didn't get to plan my week yesterday. I normally do that Monday mornings. I just had so much other stuff to do Monday, and then by the afternoon I just wasn't feeling good. So I just chilled out Monday afternoon. I worked a bunch on Sunday, and so I was able to kind of, like, I took a nap yesterday afternoon. My stomach was like just in knots yesterday, and it wasn't because of like what's going on. It's because I have stomach problems in general. So everything's better today feeling wise. So I got to get to work. But I brought a bunch of pens and stuff if y'all just want to talk about pens, and if you want to talk about what you're using right now. Like, are you doing anything different right now that is putting you in a better mental space, mind space? Yeah, like Beth's saying, it's so hard to plan right now. It really is. Like, we have a mental overhead that I will answer that question, Tony, because I have an answer for you. there's a lot of mental overhead with what's going on in the world right now. And like one of the big challenges I have is balancing public statements and work and existing versus my mental health, right? So, like, my mental health is of the utmost importance to me, right? So, I also, used to be like a very angry person years ago. And like that showed up on Twitter like years ago in smaller fashions, in smaller ways. And I've made a conscious change to be a different person, to use my anger in a healthy fashion and to not lash out and to do different things. So when I see like outrageous things like are going on in our country right now, I get really mad, right? And I tend to shut up at the peak of those points because I will not do well with the anger that I have about things I'm seeing. So I've learned to manage that differently over the past few years, maybe longer than that. But I would used to just like really fight and not physically, but just like audibly angrily fight. And that's not healthy. That's not helpful, right? You can still take action with the right intent without being angry. And I think if you're angry, doing things coming from a place of anger, it gets accepted a little bit differently. Now, that's a privileged statement for me to make, right? I also know these things too, because I'm not the one getting a knee on my neck, right? So I understand that. So there's a lot to think about when you're posting online or have a presence online or trying to be helpful online. Like I really have to meter my anger online and take that out in other ways, like take that out in spreading the word and other types of activism that you can do at home, and education and things like that. So I try to rechannel some of that stuff. So yeah, so like I don't get in Twitter fights, I don't get in internet fights. It's not helpful or healthy. There is really no point in yelling on the internet because it'll just make you personally frustrated more. So, whew. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, chat. Hey, good morning, Elizabeth. How I know. So that was the last of my internet fights. That was like that one was like 3 years ago. But like I was even changing before then. But that's when I didn't have the meter on me that I have now, right? So yeah, let's go back to Tony's question that I said I would answer. Change the subject a little bit. Any word on the Spoke Mini? Is that what you said? Scrolling up in there. How's the Spoke Mini going? It's going pretty good. Yeah, it's okay, like as a white person to listen, but I don't know that you should shut up. But I agree that it's difficult. But what you shouldn't do is say things without meaning. It's hard to phrase that correctly. There has to be an intent and an action about those things. So, but the thing you should know is that on the internet, like, it's not the best place. All right. Did I hear about the Mark II? Yes. Did it launch? It was supposed to launch yesterday, but I didn't look. I was a little bit busy. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Steph. I think being mad is the correct response, but also empowering those that need additional resources. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be quiet. I'll never be quiet. but I don't want to be angry either, right? There's a challenge and a balance that comes into this. And like, you have to also be in a good mental state to be able to take the actions that are required. So, if you're going to use up your energy fighting on the internet, what have you really accomplished? Could that energy be used to, impart real change somewhere in your local area, your day-to-day life, right? So it's tough right now. Yeah, when we don't have any of the leadership and guidance, it's just tough. It's tough. All right, I'll answer Tony's question now. The Spoke Mini we're hoping to launch it at the end of this month. So did the Mark II actually launch, Alexander? I didn't go look. I was gonna go look today. It was supposed to launch Monday, but I don't know if they held off or if they launched it. But the Spoke Pen Mini, Tony, is going to be called the Spoke Roadie. We'll start talking about it like that now. The regular Spoke pens should be ready next week. I'm picking them up on Tuesday. Should be picking them up on Tuesday to ship. And then like maybe 3-4 weeks after that, the Spoke Roadie will be ready. Maybe by the end of June, early July. Rainbow of colors for the Mini or smaller initial offering. Not full rainbow, but definitely some colors. I know Spoke Mini is a really good, clean name, but we are gonna call it the Roadie. I'm not opposed to the Spoke Mini at all. But I do like the Roadie name. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. On a different note, any more word on your Mount Fuji? Yes, it is scheduled for delivery today. You caught the brunt of the Japanese postal service, where I'm getting the DHL service. So, April Fool's joke, Brad does all black editions of everything. Roady, I think is what we're going to go with. Yes, Roadie. Mike Roadie. It's the sketch note pen. I think we're going to go Roady, so it's not like the Roadie, like the band Roadies. So we'll play on hitting the road. Morning, Schmevelins. I couldn't do all black editions of everything, even though they sell the best. Like, do I even have an all black pen with me right now? Yeah, kinda. I mean, my Nakai is pretty all black, but I don't count this as an all black pen, right? Yeah, we're not gonna like adhere to traditional naming standards. Do I have an all black? I like all black pens, but I just tend to not use them that much. Spyderco has a Roadie. That's cool. Hey, is K9 in here? I had an update for them. Yeah, I don't have an all black. That, speaking of all blacks, did you see the it was earlier this year where the New Zealand All Blacks rugby team had a Faber-Castell? It was pretty sweet. I would use that pen. Brasstown is the best pen case. I won't disagree. I mean, you're not going to get much argument from me. Brad saw the light. Andrew, we sell more black cases by anything by a lot. Like, as you can imagine, that's just the most popular case color. Got to work as a roadie for Social Distortion and the Ramones for a day. That would be cool. I'd do that for a day. I couldn't do that for a long time. So yeah, we're trying to get more colors. This colorway right here, this is the wax canvas one. We'll probably do a Kickstarter for this maybe this summer, something like that. I have this in a this was the most popular color we've ever done with the canvas, and this is a wax canvas. So with the nylon canvas, it was Raven and Aqua, and that was our best seller we've ever done. If we do this one, we'll do a Kickstarter for the Brasstown and the Sinclair. Which part, George? I'll rehash for you. So this would be a 2-part. We'll either do it Kickstarter or pre-order direct on the site. One of the two. I don't know which. Kickstarter, you kind of get some easy management from that, right? Like I can, and you don't have to give me your money on the first day. So, but you would still. Oh, yes. A well-known pencil user has come out online as a fountain pen fan. You should see my texts, Corinne. You should see my texts. It's pretty cool. Pre-order, keep the money. Yeah. So, yes. So, Kickstarter, by the time we're done with Kickstarter, it'll cost me between 8 and 10%. Where if we do it direct, it'll just cost me the 3% credit card fees, right? 3 point something. So we'd keep an extra 5%, but then I don't get the benefit of the information blasts and the backer reports, but I don't know how much I'd really need it. All right, heads and fails, have a good one. Yeah, we could. No. It wouldn't give me. You wouldn't need to send a check. That's not worth it. But the thing, I just don't know. Kickstarter, I'm not gonna lie. Kickstarter does really give a good bit of management. Now, not now, definitely not now. So yeah, I don't know. I would like to just do a pre-sale. Also on the pre-sale stuff, like you got to tell people not to buy other things, which I hate doing a little bit because it might be 6 months before you get the product, right? And so the other part of your order will just be sitting there and it'll be out of inventory, but that stuff gets screwed up, man. Even on something at our volume, which is not massively high volume. So I'll just have to like take those out of orders if I see them, if we do a pre-order. Mike Henley, can I plug a podcast episode that people may find interesting? You may please do that. Please do that. I'm going to write that up either this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. Maybe tomorrow afternoon, I'm thinking. Got your member chip yesterday. Yay. All right. Bye. Hi. Bye. Glad you got your member chip. So I caught up on the member chip list. I probably have a few new ones from this past week or two, but yeah, I'll be able to share it out on the blog just so everyone knows. Mike, are you in the Pen Addict Slack? We need to put it in the podcast channel there. I keep meaning to do that. I just haven't had time yet. I don't know if someone else has put it in there or not. So I joined Mike Henley, spoiler alert, from the Drawing Inspiration podcast, and we just had a talk. We pretty much just had a talk like this. We pretty much had a Twitch that we recorded. So Mike asked me all about like the origins of the Pen Addict, and Mike got into a bunch of business stuff, which I enjoy talking about. So it was a good conversation. I rambled a lot. Y'all think I ramble a lot on our podcast? Holy crap. I was listening to myself talk. Mercy. It's okay. I like to talk, though. How do you get me your address for the membership? At the bottom of the newsletter, there's a form. So I love talking about the business stuff. I just don't want to do it too much. I mean, like on my stuff, right? Like I'll break out stuff and refill, once every few months or something like that. I'll talk to anyone about business. I'll talk to y'all about business on here all day long, but like I don't do it on the blog or the newsletter except on occasion. Speaking of business stuff, this is sitting here. So Kaweco is changing a little bit of like y'all have heard me in the past trying to get Kaweco Sports, right? And they were wanting 1,000 units to do, and I just couldn't swing that. I don't think I could sell that many Kaweco Sports. Fire on Fire is awesome. I just reordered. I just got in a new batch of 200. I ordered 200 at a time. I've probably sold like 800 or 1,000 bottles of those. Man, I'm really happy with that ink. We're going to talk about that a little bit more too on this Twitch. But Kaweco has shortened their units, but I think it's still 500 for the sport. That's still pretty high. I don't know if I could swing that or not. I probably could. But what they do is laser etch the steel version, the AL steel, the AL steel. That was stupid. The steel sport, and that starts at 50 pieces. Yeah, I think that's why we're seeing a bunch of people finally start doing them, because they lowered their number. The Galen leather one looks awesome. It's like a cognac. But I'm looking at this steel sport and get 50 of them with like Pen Addict etched on that. That has me more excited than the sports. Just because everyone's done a sport, right? They've done orange sports and gray sports and all that other stuff. But I'd rather pay up for the steel sport and just get an etching on a laser etch. Yeah, so they don't clarify exactly what is what, but the way it's worded, it's like the sports, sport classics and Skyline sports are 500 pieces, but laser etching 50 pieces on the steel. Would there be a markup over MSRP? I haven't asked for the pricing yet, so I can't answer that. My guess would be yes, because they're going to do a smaller batch work. My guess would be yes. So yeah, I'd look at doing a steel sport, which is my favorite already, and I don't have to commit to 500 units, even though they're more expensive. That seems like the way to go. Okay, y'all seem like that's the way to go. How durable is the laser etch? I don't know, but their steel sports are already laser etched, so it seems pretty good so far. Like, I haven't beat mine to death. Oh, the one you hate. We love you. We love pens, so we love you. So yeah, we are super into pens. Yeah, so let's just pretend these are like $100, because I think the regular one's 90. And so, hey, the G2 is not a bad pen. The G2 is a good pen. You'll get no arguments here from us on the G2. That is the gateway pen. That's the gateway drug pen. That's your first taste is free pen. So I think, isn't this the standard steel 90? Someone can look that up for me. I think standard steel is 90-ish, 80 to 90. So I have this here because it's got to go in my notebook to email Kaweco and find out. 98 on jet pens. I thought I was a little bit cheaper. But anyway, it's better because I don't have to do 500 units of something that someone already has a bunch of. Even though with the steel sport, it'll look like any other steel sport, but it'll have the Pen Addict etching. So I have to email them. I have to get the pricing down to... Oh, and the thing I was about to say is discounts. Like, I would love to be able to like discount it. Will Kaweco allow me to discount that to Pen Addict members, right? If we can get a discount, if they allow me to have a discount, like Franklin Christoph doesn't allow for discounts, which is fine. I have no problem. You know, I know that going into it, they don't allow it. Cool. But if we can get this, and I can offer 25% off for members, then we're in really business. Any chance you can fill the etch with orange? I don't know. So they don't show that on here. Because like the Supreme, like they have a Supreme one on here, and that's on a plastic one. Plastic barrel. I can't tell what the black is. And then this is the steel one over here. It's got the Nomos. Isn't that the watch company? Nomos. If I could feel it with orange, that would be amazing. I doubt I can. And I doubt it would because if you look at the etching right now on the Steel Sport, it's not very deep, right? 120. Damn. Interesting. Well, if we can get 25% off of that for members, then we're way into business. So, on the minimum for AL Sport, I'm thinking 50. They're not explicit on this card, so that's why we got to do next year's Pen Addict Kickstarter. Sell 500. It could be. That would be more into the AL Sport range. That would be cool. I don't know if we're gonna have, like, we have to talk about, are we gonna have a next year's Pen Addict Kickstarter? Because if we didn't get to do anything this year, and I've got the funds for us to travel sitting in my bank account, wouldn't feel, we've discussed, like, we wouldn't feel right doing another Kickstarter when we haven't, lived up to our goals of this one. So plastic sports are kind of debossed. The metal ones are just surface engraving. That's correct. Put it towards Japan. That's one of the totally things that we're doing. Like, just, I mean, that's number one on the, like, okay, not number one. On the what do we do with this money if we can't go to any pen shows list. Number one is go to pen shows in the early part of next year, Baltimore, Atlanta. And then number two would be save the rest of the money for Tokyo the following year. That's where we're working right now. Yeah, get a pet. And, like, I don't know. This is just, like, I'm just trying to talk out loud. Come to London, then I would totally, if the new London show is back on and the new, the relatively new Amsterdam show is on, and they were, like, within a week of each other this year during the summertime, I would like to go to both next year. I think when traveling gets back to normal, I think I'm going to make it a goal to go to London, Madrid, or Amsterdam as a goal for myself next year. Kickstarter thing or not, just to go. And maybe do less pen shows in the US just to get out a little bit more. So yeah, it's all up in the air. It really is. So everything y'all are talking out. Yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah, that's another good point. Philadelphia. Another good show. LA would not. I wouldn't be up for that yet. LA, if I did LA, I would do it on my own. But it would be like Baltimore, Philly, Atlanta, something like that. 2 of the 3 or one of them. I don't know what. So I have podcast prep to do this afternoon, but it's going to be easy because we're going to have Anna on to talk about, Chicago, yeah, after Atlanta. That's a good idea too. We're going to have Anna on to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Well-Appointed Desk. So if you have any questions, I'll put this out on Twitter. If you have any questions, put them in Twitter, #AskTPA for Anna and the 10th anniversary. So my podcast prep is pretty light tomorrow or today because that's easy peasy. I did not get the Prussian blue yet. So people are pre-ordering them and they're starting to show up. So I need to get one. San Francisco, please, 2021. I love the San Francisco Pen Show. I'd hope. What interviews do I have this week? Yesterday threw me off so bad. I think I only have one interview this week. Has there been any update since last podcast about Curidas feeds? I've asked 2 different retailers, and they're basically saying that platinum's going to replace them, but they really don't have any definitive like schedule. But just like talk to your retailer and get in the replacement queue. Luna, good morning. I hope you're doing okay this morning. I hope you're gonna play with pens and markers and crayons today. I hope you need to draw. Luna, will you draw something for Mr. Brad and tell your dad to send him a picture? I would like it if you drew me something. It's Ruben T. Thanks for the host, Ruben YT. I have Alan Shootco tonight, Mr. St. Louis. Whoa, I just took a screenshot of my home screen. Stupid phone. Okay, good morning, Jim. Yeah, that Twisby seems pretty cool. Tiny Badge, thanks for the sub. I should turn the alerts back on. Yeah, it's pretty consistent, Jim. I'm not gonna lie, I do it all the time. It's Ruben. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yay! You know what? I need a heart more than anything right now, Luna. I need a heart more than anything. That would be the perfect thing to get. Yay, hearts. All right, so email Kaveco. That's now on the list. This came in some, I don't know what I ordered, but they had this whole little mini catalog, and I just tore this page out because I don't need to keep the catalog. You can see all that stuff online, but I was like, oh, look at this co-branding stuff. So I tore it out of the book and put it in here so I'd remember to write it down. I forget what it was that I ordered, though. All right, have a great day, Ruben. Yeah, the Supreme one's on here. So what we're talking about, Jim, is they've lowered their item quantities, their requirements. Back when I was trying to get an orange one, they wanted 1,000 units for the Classic or the Skyline, and now they're down to 500, which I think is still probably too much for me. But they have some options for 50 units, which I think are probably like the steel ones to do an etching on, and I think that's more in line with what I try to do. So we'll see. Does Lamy do anything like that? They do so many special editions, you would think, but I don't know if they have any type of I would just have to email them, because they do a ton of corporate stuff, but you just never see like pin shop exclusives. Fuzzy man, that happens. I totally get you. Yeah, and that's also why I don't want to do the orange sport. It was a shop in Spain that did an orange one that looked awesome. It was a killer orange one. Yeah, what about the AL? Possibly. The etching might work better on the gray AL anyway than the steel. So that's at least the question I'm going to ask. So we'll see. It's just one of those things, like I talk about now, it might come together like in a year, if at all. But yeah, I would love if they could kind of etch one of the metal ones and drop some orange in there. That would be sick. Oh, podcast does not have 2 T's in it, chat. Wow, podcast. That's what happens when I try to write and talk at the same time. Podcast. Gray LL with orange. I'll talk to him. That's been on my short list for a while of getting stuff made. I'm still waiting on Karen Dash. They pretty much sat on it for a month or two, which is fine. Like, there's so much going on. Like, I'm small potatoes. But we finally have the ball rolling again. The colors look awesome. and I'm just trying to get the logo placed right. Like, it's just a matter of shifting the logo on the facets. I don't know if it's going to be dead center in the back or on one of the sides, but wherever it is, it's wherever they had it was in a awkward place, and I was like, that's weird. So I'm just waiting to hear back on that, and we'll get that done. So here, let's do... under the clip. I'm not going to do under the clip because the logo is a little big. The facet that's facing you when you hold it, yes. So they put it... wow, that's weird. So, unfortunately, that would be the right-handed position, Tony. They had it in the left-handed position underneath, not even centered back, but around. So if I'm holding... God, this isn't going to work on here. So if I'm holding it, they had it like under here instead of here. I was like, well, how is this even a thing? All right, go to work, Sam. I've tried to put it center back, but they don't seem to want to do that. This is the Y Studio. I'm sorry. Here, let me put something else here so maybe it'll focus. Yeah, sorry. This is the Y Studio. But yeah, I would prefer the logo center back facet. The way they're doing the logo, it wraps facet edges, like the circular Pen Addict logo, which I want on there. So it doesn't just say the Pen Addict, it's got the logo on it. The logo wraps, so it'll touch two edges. And they're getting confused on where to place that. So this is the... I always forget the Ganbury. I always forget. I gotta look. I want to call it the Gantt chart. Garny, Garny. It's a cool case. I bought it in Baltimore just to try. So it's a leather case. Holds 4 pens. It's a very good wrap. It's breaking in well. That's why I'm just trying to use it and break it in more. It's very nice. It's very expensive. I don't know. It's like one of those so expensive it's hard to recommend type of deals. So in this Y Studio, I just wrote it dry of the Stargaze that I had been using in it, which is the standard bindery Stargaze, which is like that grayish black. I just inked it up with Roaring Klingner Salix, and I have a needlepoint nib in here. It's a really great nib. Masuyama needlepoint steel nib from Franklin Christoph. I know you can't see that. Can you? Nope. This is pretty much my favorite. Yeah, Tony, if I was just going text, it would be fine anywhere. All right, even supposing, finish up that schoolwork. If I was just doing text, it would have been we would have been in production by now. But they've gone back and forth on the logo, and they finally have it centered correctly, like everything's lined up correctly, but now it's just a little bit different looking. So I just want to I'm getting 400 of these, so it's got to be in the location that I want. Text wouldn't make sense for this yet. Text would look like the drug sales rep pen. So, oh man. So Brian, Spoke Pen Brian, he keeps sending me. We're trying to do some packaging stuff too, so he's sending me some sticker designs. That's kind of cool. I like that. Oh, that Make the logo bigger so it covers 3 facets. That's pretty obnoxious. This is not a big pen. Like, if you've never used an 849, those are skinny pens. It would be really, really overwhelming, I think, if we did that. Are normal spoke pens coming back in stock? Yes, next week. I'm picking them up on Tuesday. Cover it in logos. That's actually not a terrible idea. Just like that spoke sticker. This is the 849 ballpoint. I don't like the fountain pen enough to pay for those. It's fine. It's just not great. The mini spoke is coming along end of the month. So we're going to do regular spoke pen relaunching next week. We'll have about 300 or 400 in stock for everyone. Like I said, I'm picking them up Tuesday next week. So we'll release them, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. And I'll be able to start shipping them next week. And then the mini will come at the end of June, beginning of July. But they're physically here. They're just going to be a gap between finishing the standards and then getting into the mini ones. So about 3-4 weeks from next week will be the mini ones. Yeah, Shart. I totally said Shart. So the only thing, I don't know which all colors we have right now. We're going to have a lot of color restock. And I don't know what colors the Roadie is going to come in, which is the name of the mini pen. So the Spoke Roadie is going to come in color barrels too. Spoke Roadie is going to have black caps and then color barrels, where the standards have kind of a mix. Yeah, sorry, Tessa. Was there any Studio Neat teas? Did they launch the thing Monday or not? Are they holding off on launch, or what are they doing? I haven't had time to go check. So did they launch a Kickstarter or not? It was because it was supposed to be Monday. They did not launch. Okay, that makes sense. Like I'm not surprised that they made that call. So it's actually, I laugh with Dan of Studio Neat. We talk about we've shared. I have one of the Mark IIs. I've had it for months, and we've had our Spoke Roadie design for as long or longer. So we've commiserated over like designs. They're gonna look a little bit alike, but surprisingly different. Like the concept is generally the same that we both have for a mini pen, but the end result is pretty different, I think. At least, I mean, I have them sitting side by side. They look like completely different pens to me, even though they're both a slide-in magnet mini pen. So it's pretty funny. We've gotten a kick out of that. All right, so let's see. I'm still working on my. Does it have the Schmidt refill too? My pen, the Roadie, or the Mark II? The Mark II uses the Schmidt Mini. The Roadie will use the Jetstream SXR. We went expensive on our refill, chat. It's an expensive ass refill, but I told Brian that we had to do it. That if we're making this pen, we're just going to charge for the Jetstream refill. So we're using the SXR. I think it's SXR 07 black. I don't know if we could get the blue. I wanted blue, but I don't know if we could get the blue. I'll have to double check. Studio Neat is using the Schmidt, and it's nice. I like that mini. So, as a matter of fact, we already have our refills in. Oh, and we're doing a direct sale. It's the Parker style Jetstream, correct? We're not doing a Kickstarter for the Spoke Roadie. It'll be on direct when it launches. It is schmancy. It's expensive. and you're paying for it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's an expensive ass refill and you're paying for it, but I would rather have that experience in this pen. I think it's that good of a refill. Yes, George, thank you. So the roadie will take all Parker's type style refills. Correct. It is it is built around a Parker style refill. Fine, George, I'll stop doing my planning to answer your question that I forgot to answer earlier. Fine. Well, what I really want, Tony, is the 05 blue, but I can't get that yet. But I wouldn't sell that to everyone. I would sell 07. That's really as small as I think you can just force on people. Yeah, make it nicer, charge a little more. And it's different, right? It's not the same refill that everyone else uses. Like, our spoke pen feed is blowing up. Okay. This isn't gonna work. All right, George, we're gonna put this pen right here. This is legitimately all about pens, Emperor Berry. So I don't know if that's really good for you or really awful for you. If it's really good for you, you should hang out. It is literally all about pens. I'm Brad. I write the Pen Addict. Go to penaddict.com. I've written the Pen Addict for 12 years. This is my job, is to talk about pens. So it is funny. It's actually hilarious that I can talk about pens. It is literally, look, Barry. Look at this. It's all about pens. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous. This is the funniest thing. See, George, I'm ignoring your answer. The Jetstream Edge is amazing. I have it right here. So there's the Jetstream Edge. This is an amazing pen. We do. Emperor Barry. Everyone say hi to Emperor Barry. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of recommendations now. The channel's getting a lot of recommendations, so we're getting a lot of new viewers, which is just freaking awesome. It's really, really great. Oh, I just clicked something. Sorry, this mouse is in my way. All right. Oh, pens are going everywhere. So yeah, we are what you would call pen addicts. So, all right, to answer George's question, we have to give George a proper Brad answer, which is we got to go ramble for a minute. So, the Fire on Fire ink was executed better than I could have ever hoped, right? So I've kept on. Oh, look, Barry. Here, see, I'm doing it, George. Barry, look, see, it's like a pen, but like a syringe, and you inject it into yourself. See, that's how much of a problem we have. The Fire on Fire, I continually reorder. I have sold probably 800 to 1,000 bottles of Fire on Fire, which is way more than I would have ever thought that I would have sold. Hey, good morning, Rewizzles. So we're going to keep it going and keep it going and keep it going. Like, I order 200 at a time. When I get down to about 50, I order another 200. And then by the time I sell all those 50, the rest I've ordered from Australia. So I've been talking with Robert Oster, and I was like, we need to do a blue-black. So that's, I think, harder to do than orange because... Alexander, hold that thought. I have an answer to that question. I think a blue-black is harder to do than an orange because blue-black's even more solved than orange is, right? I felt like we executed a good orange that was different enough from what was out there to be special, right? There's no point in me making an ink that's everything else. Blue-black is harder. So... with this last shipment of Fire on Fire, he gave me his first pass at a blue-black ink for me to sell. I have the name, I have the story of the ink. I'm not willing to share that now because I don't know that it's going to come into existence if we can't solve blue-black. So I have... yeah. Sarah, that in the end, that's not far off, right? That's why blue-black's hard, because it's kind of been done. So pick something that he has and then and then rebrand it. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Not really, but yes. So this is inked up with a really dark blue black that he made for me. That is too dark. Like, I have this inked up, and it's pretty black with a good sheen, and I like it. It's a great ink, but it's not the one. So we're working on making something much lighter. So this is there. I mean, there's no way you will be able to see this. It's a really great color, but it's not the one I think I'm going to sell a bajillion of. This one has a lot of sheen, but not much shading. So I'm working on reversing that. Glad you're taking the time to show it off. This is just for you, Dave. Test. FU, Dave. That's actually the name of this ink. It's called FU Dave, because it'll never get made. So there's the ink. So yeah, you can't see this because it looks pretty much black. So this is what he wanted to send me first. What I did to go to your theory, Sarah, is I said, I want a combination of this ink and that ink that he makes already, right? I want this blue black to be a combination of this one and that one to make it brighter, more gray, a more gray blue black ink, like Shinkai. Shinkai is my perfect blue black ink, right? I didn't say make it like Shinkai. I said make it like this ink you already make and a combination of this ink you already make, and let's see what this looks like. Maybe you already make it and it's called something else, but let's do a sample. So we're on stage 2 of sample making. And that's right, George. It doesn't have to be incredibly special or different. It just has to be good. And this one I'm not ready to put good on yet. Right? I'm not ready to put the Pen Addict name on FU Dave yet. We don't have the right one. It has to be the blue black that I want to use all day, every day. Like, that's what Fire on Fire is to me. And so he sent me like 10 megs of photo samples the other day, and I was like, nah. What blue black is the worst that I've used? I'll tell you the one that I thought I would like better that I don't ever use, and it's because it's too dark, is the 1857 Diamine 1857 one. I thought, hey, special edition blue black, it's just pretty much black. Parker, I don't like that one either. I've used that one once or twice. Platinum standard blue black is not like really good, right? Platinum's standard blue black is just blue. That's why I like the Mount Fuji one so much. So I'm using Salix in here. Salix is a great example of the color that I like, of blue black that I like, right? It's a very moderate color. It's not too blue. It's not too black. I gotta have a lot of grays in my blue black. It can't be too blue or too black. Tremendous deep water is bad. Twisby blue black is fine. I enjoyed it. I haven't used it much since I've reviewed it, but I liked it. Document Fog Gray. I haven't tried that one. Mount Fuji's a good one. I just inked up my desk pen, this Y Studio desk pen with Mont Blanc JFK, which they market as a navy, but it's totally a blue black. Pilot blue black's amazing. Tolstoy over JFK. So I have a friend that is a Tolstoy junkie. And at one point they found 8 bottles and just sent me one to show me how wrong I was about JFK. And I thought that was fair. Tolstoy is a really nice ink. Tolstoy is actually probably closer to what I'm trying to get out of a blue black. It's a little bright for me, but you know, it's it's an awesome ink. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I had a friend that loves it so much. He just a bottle just showed up with a letter. I bought, I think he said 8 at the time, and he said you're wrong. Like this is the best blue black, and I don't consider Tolstoy a blue black. JFK is one of the best inks ever. JFK is one of the last inks that I bought 2 bottles of because I liked it that much. And I'm a big proponent of not overbuying ink because there's always something new that comes along that's similar enough. I did buy 2 bottles of JFK because I liked it that much. "54th Mass" is a weird ink. It has this green to it. I see a green in it, and it looks good. It's just not what I want. Standard Boundaries Lunatone. CSI Maxo, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Hey, phone call. Sorry. What is the best blue black? Yeah, it is an evergreen topic. Because you could ask me the best blue black, and I wouldn't answer with you my favorite blue black. That's why it's an evergreen question. So it's just like one of those things. Hey, thanks. I should put my pins back on the stream just for all the new people coming to hang out, just so they know that it really is a pin stream, even though it's upside down. You can't see. Yes, people have very different ideas of blue black. Like this ink that I tested over here, that Robert Oster sent me 5 bottles of this ink, and I had to tell him that I didn't want to use that ink. I felt kind of guilty. I was like, but if I'm gonna order 1,000 bottles of ink eventually, it's got to be like rock solid. You know what's a really good blue black is the Waterman Mysterious Blue. That's an amazing blue black ink. If y'all haven't tried out, if you're a blue black ink fan and you're a Waterman, if you're a blue black ink fan and you haven't tried the Waterman Mysterious Black, that should be on the top of your list. 5 bottles of something I had never seen before, Thor. Exactly. I like 4001. I don't love it. It is legitimately dry. It is maybe the driest ink I own. Mysterious Blue is an amazing ink. Yeah, like 5 50 milliliter bottles of this ink. That is awesome, but I'm not going to buy it. This is not the answer that I want. He is, so I don't know what he was doing with this. Thor. He totally is. What do you use all your pen and inks for? Do you use it for work or for hobby? That's a great question, CSI. So both, really. It is started out as a hobby. This is like literally my job is to talk about pens now. So I have a blog called penaddict.com. I mostly use my pens for work notes, general writing. I don't do much journaling. I do a little bit of art and sketching. But it's really just about writing and doing all types of things with pens. So really anything you want. There's a lot of us in here that'll use pens for artwork, a lot of us that'll use pens for journaling. So like I'll test out a bunch of pens, try them out, and try to explain like what they're good for, what they're not good for. So it's not just fountain pens, it's all types of pens, gel pens, pencils, paper, all that kind of stuff. Have you used the Buggy ink yet? I don't know what the Buggy ink is. And students too. Yeah, tons of note taking. Oh yeah, the Big Hype Man. Is that for me? I'm sponsored by Big Stationery. Bic. I'm in Bic's pocket. Big Stationery. Isn't Big Stationery funny? You know who Big Stationery is, which I never realized was Kikuyo. Did you know that they were Big Stationery? If there was ever to be like a Big Stationery, like a joke, I think Kikuyo might be big Stationery. All right, what is Brian? Brian is texting me now. All right. So Brian has updated the Spoke website to June 10th. We're gonna have more Spoke inventory. What? Let me see what day that is. 10th. Okay, good. I'm picking them up on the 9th, and we'll be ready to ship on the 10th. So yeah, Brad has the best job in the world. I want to be Brad when I grow up. Thank you, Tessa. I want to be me when I grow up too. It's it's interesting. It's crazy to say out loud that like this is what I do for my job. I'm very fortunate. So yeah, back to the blue black talk. I'm working on it. So we're gonna have ink number 2. Yeah, stream schedule. I don't know if I have it updated on the site. I really just right now I do Tuesday and Thursday mornings 10 a.m. Eastern time. And we only go for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Today's a long stream because I don't have any other things I have to do immediately after. Some days are shorter, some days are longer. I will eventually stream for longer, but as the chat knows, that has been a long running joke here. I just don't have great internet access, so I have to relocate when I want to stream, which is what I'm doing today. So right now, Tuesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. All right, so let me get back to writing over here, writing some stuff down. So yeah, I got it right now. I'm working on. I keep going back, so you'll see me get distracted a lot. Thank you, George, for bringing up the topic because I think it's pretty fun to discuss, and it cracked me up when I got this bag of ink. I don't know what to do with these 4 other bottles of ink. I'm using one. I don't think it would be nice of me to do to slip somebody these extra bottles that Robert didn't want out there. I respect his greatness. And wouldn't want to just drop that out there. Coping Met Games, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. So we're working on it. We only talk. Yeah, I'll use them for art and stuff like that, and give them to the kids and whatever. But I don't want him to send me 5 more bottles until I see pictures first. It was pretty funny. I was like, oh, this better be good. This looks great. And it is, but it's not the one I want to sell. So, working on it. It's not my everyday blue black. It's too dark. So, we're going to keep working on it. I'll let y'all know when it happens. The thing is, it will take us longer to decide on this ink than for me to place an order and it to show up at my house. That's just how Robert works. Like, it could take us a year to decide on this ink color, but when I sign the paperwork, I had to go back to Alexander's question. Speaking of paperwork, when I sign the paperwork, I'll have the ink on my doorstep in 3 weeks. It's hilarious. It trips me out how fast I can get ink when I have an order in. But when we're trying to figure it out, it takes forever. It doesn't help that he's in Australia and I'm in the U.S. and we miss days at a time for stuff. Alexander asked earlier. I'm not going to scroll back and find it because I don't know where it would be, but he basically asked, is there, if he did a limited edition, can you only sell it for a certain amount of time? There's a clause essentially in, let's see, how do I phrase it? In my right to sell this ink, if I go X amount of times, or X amount of time, say calendar time, without ordering, or I decide I no longer want to, or I think it's basically when I decide I no longer want to carry this ink, Pen Addict Fire on Fire, he can then sell it himself, this formulation, and he could call it, Robert Oster Fire on Fire, I think is the idea behind the sales of a custom ink. Right, it's as long as I want to carry it, I get to carry it. When I decide I no longer want to order any more Fire on Fire, he is then allowed to sell this ink himself. Oh, is that what it is, Sarah? Yeah, a revision of rights, right? Yeah. It's mine as long as I want it, and when I no longer want it, he then has the right to sell it himself. Which I have no problem with that. Like, if I can't sell it anymore, why would I? Why would I want to? I'm not going to retain the rights to it. So, does that make sense? But right now, it still sells pretty well. I see no reason not to continue carrying it. And in fact, I'm trying to add ink number 2 to it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure we'll. What's the TLDR for this stream? Anything. We're wide open. I'm trying to work. We've been talking about ink. We've been talking about Black Lives Matter. We've been talking about mental health. We've been talking about everything. We're wide open today. No plans. Fire on Fire looks the best out of all my oranges in a converter. Yeah, it's cool. So here's a funny Fire on Fire anecdote. I don't know if Tiff, my good friend Tiff Arment, is hiding in the background today. I'm not looking at the chat logs or the viewer logs, but she told me a funny story. She had all of her inks out, and she was swatching them into her color ring. And she was swatching them and putting the name on them. And her son, who's 8, came over and like looked at what she was doing. And he picked out of all the ink she had, I don't know, it was dozens. He said that Fire on Fire was his favorite because it looks cool and he likes the name. I was like, yeah, that just made my day. Out of all the ink she had, he picked out the orange one because it looked cool and it had the cool name. I was like, I like you. You're my new best friend. So that was a funny one. All right, we're gonna keep planning my week here. I'm just gonna keep writing. What else do I need to do this week, chat? Got a bottle of Fire on Fire to circle highlight searches in his perfect hashtag marketing. Yeah, it can, like, oranges and reds tend to run a bit dry in general. It's just a general chemical composition that I won't pretend to explain, but it's consistent generally in oranges and red inks based on the dye that they use, that they can be dry. I don't find it to be too dry, but I'm not opposed to dry ink. So when I get one, I don't go, oh, this is really dry. So yeah, I get that though. I've had that. Twisby and Fire on Fire is right up there with the neons. Yeah, it's useful. Get some White Lightning. Stephen Brown just reviewed it. So, that's one place you can check it. There's Anna's done a review, Well Appointed Desk. So yeah. Are the kids out of school? My kids' school ended May the 1st this year. So absolutely. Which was crazy. So they went from, I think they did 6 weeks homeschooling, like towards the middle to end of March, and then they just cut it short for any kids who were up to date with all their schoolwork and grades. They just said May 1st you're done, and then they went all the way to like May 20 something for kids who needed to like catch up and pull up their grades and things like that. So they were able to be done May the 1st. My wife is actually calling this now second summer because they were at home for school for so long, like 6 weeks, maybe even 8. But they were only working on that like an hour or two a day, and then the school ended officially right before Memorial Day. So my wife is calling this second summer because they were pretty much had summer the whole time they were in school, doing home work from home school. Just had an orange ink do the crust growth thing in one of my orange pens. Did anyone figure that out? Yeah, it's common. So Mont Blanc Lucky Orange is my biggest contributor to the crud. It's a great ink. It cruds from the bottle. It cruds from the cartridge. Yeah, it's an orange ink thing. Unlucky orange, totally. It's such a good color, but it cruds for sure. That freaked me out the first time I ever saw it. Like, a lot of fountain pen things freaked me out the first time I saw it, but then I realized that, oh, it's okay, it'll just wash off easy. Wow, 10 weeks. Nope, it's not mold. It's not a good thing, obviously, but it's not an unhealthy thing. Right? It's an annoyance. It'll make you not want to use the ink, but it's not going to cause a problem like in your nib and feed. It should wash out pretty well. It's a moisture problem. Is that what it is? Some type of the composition. Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, it's totally scary the first time you see it. You're like, oh my god, my pen's ruined, but it's okay. Luckily, Fire on Fire doesn't seem to have that problem. Thanks, Rich Sticks. Um, I haven't seen it. Maybe a couple other people have seen it, but it's kind of that. It's kind of one of those things you like gotta roll with the punches with your oranges and reds. You've only driven your car twice, so my wife, when she was doing our finances in the beginning of May, she went, "Oh my god, check this out." So like for all of April, we spent $38 in gas. And she compared it back to February, and in February it was like $390 in gas or something crazy like that. Like we drive a lot. Like our kids' school is about 20 miles each way, so we drive a lot because we take them to school. So we went from like almost $400 to under $40 in 2 months, and gas prices were down. But yeah, like we spent $38 in gas in April when we normally spend three something. My Oroshizuku caps stick too as well. It's just an annoyance with the ink. Topped off the Prius when prices were low. Yeah, you should be able to go like a month. Aethers Hill, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, we definitely made up for that in groceries. But like, like we're at one of those grocery stores that has gas stations, so you get gas points. Like we've had spent so much in groceries and used so little gas. I'm pretty sure we've paid under $1 several times. Like I think I filled up my car for $14 the other day, the last time I got gas. Gas money saved, wife's been getting yarn. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. Do your kids walk or ride bikes, or they're still too young for that, Tony? Drop them off. Yeah, still too young. Will they do they have an option to like walk or ride bikes or something, like weather permitting, cold permitting? I finally got a mask that fit me. I got the Ugg Monk ones. Those fit my large head. Oh yeah, when we lived in Atlanta, regular gas was like in the 90 cents. I think it would sometimes drop down to 79 to like 98. Oh yeah, I bet your wife makes some good ones, Rich. Ah, that makes sense. I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, totally true, Tony. I wasn't considering that. Luchador mask. I bet that's pretty cool. Is the 2020 Vanishing Point officially announced? I haven't seen it. Has someone seen it? Is it? Oh, is it? And the black stripe one, like 2 years ago. Is it black and white? Dromgold posted a pic. Okay, I haven't looked. Matte black guilloche. I'll have to look. I haven't seen it. So this is France's design. So I've told you that story about how they do these special editions, right? They alternate designs between Pilot in France and Pilot US. So like all the turquoise one and then all the radiant ones or the gradient ones were US versions, and then some of these black ones, and like the black, I call it the Burberry one from last year. Last year's was the turquoise marbled one, and then the year before that was the black stripe. I call it, like, I don't know, lines. What do they call it? Just lines and lines. So that's France. So they're alternating every year, so you can kind of see a theme if you pull out these opposite years. There's a theme in each lineup of pens. So this is Pilot France's design for this limited edition. Crossed lines, thank you. So yeah, I'll have to pull it up now. I'll have to go look it up. How is the Kaweco Special Mechanical Pencil? It's fine. I just don't love it. Like, I like a lot of mechanical pencils, and it's fine. Like, if you like that style, I just thought it was a little much in the size-wise for it. It's fine. It's one of those that lands in the, it's fine. If it's your style, you will like it. If you're going to pick it up on a whim, I think there's better choices, right? Oh, you got one of the Ombre Retro 51s? It's meh. Yeah. I think I've reviewed it in the past. Me or Susan reviewed it. I can't remember who. I think I've reviewed it on the blog. And it's like, I just didn't get it for, the price and compared to other mechanical pencils. It didn't do it for me. If I'm gonna buy a fancy mechanical pencil, like a show mechanical pencil, I'm going to get like a Caran d'Ache Ecuador or something like that. Even though that's like 3 or 4 times the price of what the Kaweco is. It's the same idea. Oh, that's the fountain pen. But what about the pencil? She did the fountain pen. Maybe we haven't done the pencil. Maybe because, I don't know. So yeah. It's fine. That's not my favorite Kaweco style. They can do, I prefer their others. They're either their shorts or the students. Special's not so special. It's fine. It's fine. If you like that style, you're going to like it. There you go. What did she say about it? Read the review for us, Tony. Let us know what the end result is. Oh wait, let me see if I got my heart from Luna. I see something way over here on this other screen. This mouse won't get to it because it's not on the mouse pad. Oh, Luna, that is beautiful. You used my favorite colors, if she's still around. Thank you, Luna. It's green and orange. It is awesome. When you're done, what you're busy, could you suggest a cheap but reliable and practical mechanical pencil? So go to penaddict.com, and there's a link at the top for top 5 pens. In that is my top 5 mechanical pencils list. That's exactly what I use. So Unikuratoga's on it. Pentel Sharp, or a lot of people call it the P series because they're marked P205 or P207 or P209 depending on the size. So I like the Uni Shift Pipe Lock. I like the Rotring 600. I like the Pentel Sharp Carry. So, and I like the Tombow Mono Shaker. That's one of your best bang for the bucks out there. It's like a $6 mechanical pencil, and it's a rock, and it's got a killer eraser. Like if erasers are important to you, look at the Tombow Mono. Rotring 600 will hit the low 20s on Amazon from time to time. I think it's cracked 20 before. I think people have emailed me when it's cracked like 18, 19. But I'm $12. That's insane. I've never seen that. But I have my one Retro 600. Yeah, that was a coffee spit take. My one Rotring 600 is one of the 1990s or early 2000s Japan models, silver. So that's really good. Emperor Barry, one of us. Got a carry for $6. That's insane. An 800 for 19. That's so weird, these prices. How good is that skeleton sharp carry? What a great pencil. $837. Wow. That's astonishing. Oh, the Tombow Mono doesn't come in 7? That's interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought for sure that would come in 7. That pencil seems tailor-made for 7mm lead. Like it's a wider barrel. Interesting. I didn't realize that. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because I got it in 05, which is my preferred style. But I'm a little bit shocked that it doesn't come in 7, to be honest. That is a link. All right, go enjoy your dumb meeting, and I'm going to enjoy your FU Dave ink. Rereading Dude and Talk of the Emperor makes me think of all the terminology there. I haven't read Dune in 30 years, probably. My dad was a huge Dune fan. My dad has like wall of science fiction books. Like he's a mega reader. Dune was always one of his favorites. And I know I've read the first one, but I don't think I read anything after that. Oh, you'd love my dad's a trip. He's very cool. He's in all these years that he's moved, he's still kept like 3 like full-size bookshelves of sci-fi, like all the old stuff, like you name it, like all the Trekkie stuff, like every version of every book ever. I remember when I was a kid, like you wouldn't find the Playboys, you'd find the heavy metal, right? That heavy metal comic, like graphic novel type of thing. That was the hidden magazine in our house, was heavy metal. Oh yeah, all of that stuff. I mean, just for days. Yeah, big into Blade Runner, big into all that. Yeah, heavy metal. Do they still make that? Your dad sounds like my husband. That's awesome. They do still make heavy metal? That's funny. Oh, God. Yeah, so I don't know what he's reading recently. But yeah, it's all fantasy sci-fi stuff, for sure. Without a doubt. Everyone keeps telling me, like in our circles, like the crossover Relay FM circles, to read Dan Morin's books are supposedly very, very well done. That I would like them, but I have to be in a mood to do sci-fi. Sarah's gotten me into horror a little bit. I like hers. I just finished J. Robert Lennon's Broken River, which y'all saw me post about yesterday, which was fantastic. So yeah, I don't normally read fiction. Yeah, so Sarah, I've got to finish Out of Water. Like, I put it down for something else. I forget what I did. So I'm like halfway through the stories in there. But it's funny, I still think about the story with the couple in the desert that were like, I don't know, they were like repurposing the bodies. I don't know, they were doing this artwork out in the desert. I don't know. That one still sticks with me from the beginning. It was like the second or third story in there. It's like, I still think about that story all the time. Making Monsters, yeah. That one has stuck with me so far, but I'm not done yet. But that one is, now that I finished Broken River, I just pulled Out of Water out to finish, because I know I can finish it like this weekend or something. Hey, Perdon. Welcome to the Pen Addict stream. I think we're probably going to wrap it up here pretty soon. Kids are texting me. I don't know what they want. I'm pretty much ignoring them. Get some work done this afternoon. Oh, you know how I feel about the Bone Weaver's Orchard. It was one of the best books I've read in a while, and I'm super glad it's gotten recognized for some awards. Like, it's well deserved. Like, I'm not even saying that because you're my friend. Like, it was spectacular. Oh, Mary Beth D, did you get a sub? Yeah, we had someone gift like 30 subs. Yeah, Neo Wiz Master gifted 30 subs early in the chat. It was a moment, y'all. So yes, so you're now, like, my own family didn't subscribe to my channel, so that's my wife's account that my daughter's on right now. Mary Beth D is my wife's Twitch account. So yeah, Neo gifted 30 subs this morning for his birthday. It's just like, y'all know I'm a crier. They about got me there. So it was a moment. So when I put the replay up on YouTube, it was like in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the stream, and it was just like, it was I just appreciate it so much. It was pretty cool. So yeah, if you got gifted a membership, you can now make fountain pens in your emotes. So go play with that all of a sudden. All right, see you, George. How do you beat that? 31 gift subs seems like a start. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Guillaume, thanks for the follow. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was a great moment in the stream. And when I post this on, I'll cross post this on YouTube. It shows up like an hour after I finish here. So yeah, you can go make fountain pens. Thanks, Aurelius. And who is it that always uses their channel points to make different, like, translucent fountain pens? Bork. Is that who does that? It's pretty cool. I don't know how to do that, so you'll have to play around with it. But yeah, now you get chat emotes. You get the Brad High emote. Yeah, there you go. You get this one too. If my mouse will work since I'm not on the mouse pad. So you get all kinds of cool stuff. You get the Pen Addict hype. So yeah, those are all the toys you get now. See, when you become a Pen Addict member. Modded Brad. What is that? It's like robot eyeball Brad. So I'm thinking Thursday we'll probably do the same thing. We'll just hang out. I don't know that I have like a ton of specific things dropping this week. Oh, is it the Deal With It glasses? Deal with it. So we'll probably just hang out Thursday again too, see what's going on. You know, give us a little solace. Little escape, little escape. It's good from time to time. It's mentally healthy, so we can do some real work. Anyway, look at you, Emperor Barry. You got it. Rook Nevermore, appreciate the follow. Yeah, so we got channel points. So we'll be here Thursday again. Hey, Irish Bug, we're getting a bunch of new people right when I'm about to wrap it up, but we don't need that. I needed it too, Tessa. Like, yeah, you just need it. You need this so you can do other work when it's required. Glad you made it too, Guillaume. Hey, glad to see your Overwatch logo in here, so it's not just Rewizzles. Do I, as the channel owner, do I get points? I just see it just says mine says infinity. I have an infinity label on my channel points. Yay, Overwatch. We're big game fans here. Yeah, it's like, thanks, Head Full of Ideas. It's like, I'm going to keep doing this, right? And it gives me the energy to do other important things as well, right? Outside of this. Like, that's why it wasn't hard to write the post yesterday, but it's hard to contextualize that we can all do things that we don't have to show everyone else online. I don't know if that makes sense. It's hard to contextualize things on the internet. So, just because we're on here talking about pins today doesn't mean we don't do like important work, but we also don't always need to like what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the words I'm looking for. I think you know where I'm coming from. So, there's good work to be done. And I'm going to keep doing my job too, right? Like, my job is to provide an escape. But that doesn't mean I don't take other things extremely seriously that you don't see me post about constantly. But I'm gonna be posting more about issues going on in the world right now. It's time to not be quiet anymore. Good ballpoint. I get it. I see what you did there, Emperor Barry. See, look at you, pretend that you're not into pens, but you're over here making pen puns. I mean, this is you right here. Emperor Barry is a full-on pen addict. You just didn't know it. You know what, Tessa? It goes both ways, right? I'm in not just a privileged position because of my white maleness. I'm in a privileged position because I get to share publicly to an audience. And that's a powerful thing if used correctly. And it comes back to me by the relationship I have with the listeners. It's okay, Barry. We can have it both ways, right? We can have our pin puns. We can have our pin puns among our serious talk. That's why this community is valuable. We are very lucky in this community to have a huge amount of diversity in it, right? I think it's pretty clear to us that we're in a pretty diverse community where we don't have to, we all respect each other, and we're super lucky. We're super lucky for that. And I don't take that for granted. And I just want to keep making sure that we fight for injustices. Our community deserves that, right? We deserve everyone's voice to be heard and equal and respected. So it's a lot. Like we can do it. We can do a lot. Yeah. Did I say it? Did I say wrong? I very likely said it wrong. Oh. So I was thinking about you, Tony, as the grammar Nazi, which I appreciate. One of the best comments I got yesterday about my Black Lives Matter post was, I don't know, like 30 minutes or an hour after I posted on Twitter, someone whose name I didn't recognize offhand. Like if, one of y'all tweets me, like I recognize, oh, there's Tessa. Like Tessa sent me a thing. Someone whose handle I didn't recognize sent me a link. He said, if you're using the term blacks to talk about a race as opposed to the color black, it should always be capitalized. And he sent me a link. And I thought to myself, like, I don't know that I really know this person, but that I've built a platform on Twitter where they're following me and assumingly the blog to where they're comfortable saying that I can tell Brad how to change something that's very sensitive and Brad be accepting of that. That made my day, that someone was comfortable enough to correct me about something as serious as that. And for me to go, oh, thank you so much for doing that. That they were comfortable just saying that to me in the first place. Man, I was proud of that moment. I was that was the best thing that happened to me yesterday. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go change that right now. Thank you for sharing that. That was pretty cool. Because I reflected on the fact that that's the atmosphere that I'd created for someone to be able to do that. And now here I go. Man, y'all are just making me cry on purpose now. But I made you think of that, Tony. It made me think of Tony because Tony does that to me all the time. Like, Tony corrects. Like, if I could have an editor, I would pick Tony. But, like, I can't finish things until the night before I need to publish them. So it's not like I can have Tony a stack of articles to read a week in advance. I don't roll that way. There's no time for me to have an editor. But Tony's like my de facto editor. And he'll say, hey, you did this wrong. And I'll fix what if I can. Like on refill, I can't fix them, right? But man, that tweet yesterday, I was like, the fact that you felt comfortable telling me that you need to capitalize the B in blacks when you're talking about the race and not the color. And here's the link to the grammar on why that's correct. I was super happy about that they felt comfortable just telling me that because they knew that I would accept that information. And make that change because I wanted to be accurate in my statements. And like, it deserves to be correct. When you're making that kind of statement, it deserves to be accurate. And that was pretty cool. I got a lot of good feedback yesterday, almost no negative feedback. And like, that's not a post where you're looking for feedback, right? You're supposed to like let your feelings be known and let your stance be known. And it was a tough day. It's been tough. And I know we talked about this in the beginning, and I know I'm sitting here packing up while I'm talking about this. So there's just so many minute things to say, and like you just want to do as much justice. Tony, I think that's why I don't get a lot of comments on blog posts, which is fair. But it's also there for a reason. Yeah, like that's completely right. Head full of ideas. I'm not a actually person. I don't fight on the internet. I'll, but like I appreciated that bit of advice yesterday. Like that is super helpful. But yeah, I'm not opposed to not having a ton of comments on the blog. I'd rather they come through Twitter or email or something like that. Blog comments tend to get missed, but and it is hard to log into, but it has to be there for a reason. Like all my engagements, I'm missing, Tony. So did you know? I don't think anyone knows this because they don't use the comments on the blog anyway. Um, Comments are locked after 90 days. So I don't want people to like, some random spammer finding a pin, a post, 6 years ago and putting the link to like their spam insurance or whatever. So the comment sections are locked after 90 days on there. I want comments to be open so I can answer questions that come up. But after 90 days, you need to find me somewhere else if you want to ask me a question on that post. I used to be that way, Patrick. I still am a little bit. That's one of those fights I fight every day. The constant feeling of righteousness, like I have to be right about everything, and I'm gonna dig in. That's something I've tried to work out of my system over the past several years. I know, head full of ideas. I'm missing so many great spam posts, but like I don't have to monitor my comments on the site. One, because there's not many, and two, because there's no one to spam. There's no time for them to spam. Maybe that was it. Maybe it's because I was in IT for so long. All right. Anything we need before we wrap up? I'm going to have Anna on the show tomorrow. Mike and I will be discussing the wonderful 10th anniversary of the Well Appointed Desk. We'll be reminiscing. We will certainly be talking about Arushi Lamis again. So if you're tired of that talk, don't tune in tomorrow, Tony. So if you have any questions for Anna, email me. I'll put a tweet out later today so we can hashtag it, so we can track the questions. What's the story on the fourth Lamy? I guess we'll elaborate more tomorrow. We can do whatever we want to do with it. So it will be a giveaway item of some kind. Mike's initial thought, and which I agree with, is that we hold it for St. Jude's in September and do something with it then. It's crazy looking. Giveaway to Pen Addict members that sign up on May 10th. Man, I hope there's 2 members so I can not pull your number. That would be the best. Burn it in effigy. I don't think we'll do that. It's pretty amazing looking, isn't it? I think Mike's won the Instagram likes if there was a poll on what everyone's favorite was, and even Jonathan said that like he put a lot more into Mike's for reasons which we thought. Hey, Irish Bug, we're glad you came by. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 a.m. Eastern, so we'd love to have you back anytime. So yeah, we're figuring that out. Yeah, St. Jude's or Jonathan directly or something. Like it'll be something charity driven giveaway wise. So it's pretty amazing. It's sitting right next to my desk, and it's like all I can do to not just ink it up and use it. So that's the plan. I still have my whole field notes collection I need to auction off too. I've just never figured out an easy way to do online donations for auctions for charity. I guess now I have time to spend to look at that, huh? Like I could just say, put a PayPal, put my PayPal out there, but it just seems like a management nightmare. I'm trying to not have a management nightmare of charity giveaway things. So if anyone has tips on that, let me know. we didn't find many options last year, um, other than just doing a lot of manual management stuff. But we'll figure it out. All right, that's a wrap. I'm out of here. Catch me online later. I'll be in your ears tomorrow. I'll be in your eyes on Thursday. And y'all have a great day. Bye.